Whoa, 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 who is this?
Katharina? Ulrich?
Why would they do this, though? Like, this is just straight up cruel. No, I don't think they did it, though. They would never have done this.
Sag mir, dass alles okay ist. Es ist alles okay.
Mundus Creatus ass.
Ich will, dass ihr doppelte Schichten arbeitet. Ich will, dass jeder Stein in dieser Stadt umgedreht wird. Jeder Keller durchsucht wird. Jeder hinterlässt irgendwo eine Spur. Wir müssen sie nur finden.
Wow. Did they never like looked at that photo and wow.
Mama. Ja. Nichts.
Yeah, it's really hard to, you know, to talk about something of this magnitude, right? He's looking at Mads.
Als er 7 immer noch nicht da war, wusste ich.
Oh, the soundtrack. Once again. Just great.
Wir haben zu dritt auf Mats gewartet. Tronte, Ulrich und ich.
Tronte.
Wie viele von diesen Scheißzetteln willst du eigentlich noch aufhängen, ha?
Das hat sie nicht so gemeint.
Doch! Mikkel ist tot!
Yeah, it's tough on all of them, and yeah, this situation is just breaking this family apart. Even though they should have been, you know, like together bonding to search for him. It's tough, man. It's tough. She's very nervous, though. He hasn't looked at the map yet. He's about to. Notice it? Yep. Yeah. The future influences the past, and the past influences the future. I love that we are hearing kind of like faint sounds of children playing in the back.
Der tote Junge, den wir gefunden haben im Wald.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
Der sah aus wie aus den 80ern.
Mhm.
Mama hat die ganze Zeit auf die Uhr geschaut. Irgendwann hat sie angefangen zu beten. Wo warst du vor 5 Tagen, als Mikkel verschwunden ist?
Er war hier. Wo soll er sonst gewesen sein?
Something's up. Remember the jacket that he had right there, who's trying to wash away with the red taint, which at this point is probably gonna be like the red soil, right? I think I talked about this.
Mama, warum hast du gelogen?
Papa war an dem Abend nicht zu Hause. Du hast Egon damals aber gesagt, dass er bei uns war. Ich habe die Aufnahme gehört. Also warum hast du gelogen?
Wenn dein Bruder verschwunden ist, hat er es mit einer anderen Frau getrieben.
Weißt du mit wem?
I mean, we know as an audience.
Claudia.
Und wer hat Mats zuletzt gesehen? An dem Abend?
Das war Regina.
Huh. Okay. Now we're suspecting the Tiedemanns. I mean, for me, I was suspecting the Dopplers the most, right? But now... Magnus, still with the bruises. Oh. This is the episode where everybody's taking action, right? Jonas, Magnus, Ulrich, everybody. This is gonna be very awkward. Like their relationship with Jonas and all.
Ich hätte nicht diese beschissene Idee mit den Höhlen haben sollen.
I wonder if Bartos is saying this because he, not Yona, if Noah was the one who's telling Bartos to do this. Venture into the unknown. Crossing the threshold. Into darkness. Ooh, chills, man, chills. Man, the poster is getting more and more weathered, dirty, right, as time moves on. Huh. She's gonna notice the ones from Hannah? Oh. This is painful. And once she realizes how many of those numbers are. Oh man. The Nielsens have been probably my favorite family so far in terms of like their dynamic, like especially with Mikkel, right? But right now it's all of it is falling apart. Ulrich? Ulrich.
Ich habe mir immer vorgestellt, dass es dich anstatt ihn hätte treffen sollen. Die Welt ist ihm nicht gerecht.
Oh.
Das Absurde ist, dass Mats vielleicht nie verschwunden wäre, wenn es dich und Katharina nie gegeben hätte.
Right, the nightmare that she had.
Den Weg nach Hause traue wegen euch. Wegen dem, was ihr mit mir gemacht habt.
Oh.
Das Ganze wäre wahrscheinlich nicht passiert.
Oh. He came to save her. He came to save her and the same thing that happened with Mikkel and Jonas.
Du hast deinem versoffenen, nichtsnutzigen Opa erzählt, ich hätte Katharina vergewaltigt.
He thinks it's her.
Hanna hat dich gesehen damals. Auf der Wache.
Hanna. Dieselbe Hanna, die mit 14 so in dich verliebt war, dass sie alles getan hat, um dich zu kriegen. Daran hat sich nicht viel geändert. Das hast du gedacht all die Jahre, dass ich das erzählt habe.
Wir leben Tür an Tür mit Menschen, von denen wir keine Ahnung haben, wer sie wirklich sind.
Hannah. Wow, he has never seen it until today.
Uns zum Kuchenessen eingeladen haben, der mit unseren Kindern spielt.
Tronte? And Peter. Holy sh...
Bei ihrer Frau wurden bereits vor einigen Wochen invasive Karzinome festgestellt und nach neuestem Befund haben diese gestreut. Sie sollten schnellstmöglich einen Termin mit Dr. Uhrmann vereinbaren. Hallo?
Yeah, it's setting in. Love the sound design for that. For those two moments of her and him realizing the gravity of the situation. Be careful now, Jonas. You don't want to fall. Yeah, there's a line there, yeah. The red string. Mm-hmm. The red string of fate. Ulrich. Oh, we're staying in this shot. In this frame.
Du hast mich wegen Vergewaltigung angezeigt. Wie krank bist du eigentlich?
Willst du meine Familie kaputt machen? Ist das, was du willst?
Was willst du? Wie ist dein Mann überhaupt so lange mit dir ausgehalten hat? Kein Wunder, dass er am Ende nicht mehr konnte.
Oh. "33 years has finally caught up to you, huh?"
Glaubt sie zu kennen. Ist nicht gut und schön.
Wow, the symbolism, the... Wow. Yeah, the parallels. Here we go, here we go.
Noch 19 Minuten bis 9:17 Uhr.
What's gonna happen in 9:17? Why are they in the bunker? What is about to happen at 9:17?
Bis in die Mitte. Dort im Schatten wartet er. Halb Mensch, halb Tier.
The Minotaur.
Dieses Band, das wir jetzt knüpfen.
Right. Right, the red string. I wonder... Oh... Who is the one who put the string in the cave? Ouroboros? The snake that eats itself forever, for all of eternity? Yeah, who is the one who... Is it actually Martha? Remember, right? Martha and Jonas having deja vu in episode 1 of like having been in this situation before. You gotta be brave. Almost no way back, right? You have to go.
Es geht zu Ende. Wie er einst ins Labyrinth hinabstieg, so steige ich nun in meins.
I am just in awe in how they are paralleling, you know, the story of Ariadne and Theseus. There it is. Mundus Creatus. There's the symbol. That's the opening, isn't it? Goosebumps. Just goosebumps everywhere.
Im Sterben bin ich ganz allein. Mein einziger Richter. Ich.
Ist alles gut. Ich bin da.
Powerful scene. Are birds gonna fall again? The book that Tronte had. The book that Noah had. Whoa, 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 whoa. Two passageways. Don't take the wrong one, obviously. That's the other side. Oh, duh, the two passageways means there's like it's in the middle, so there's like 3 ways to go. 3 timelines, past, present, and future.
Sag ihm, wie ihre Mutter wirklich ist.
I mean, people change, obviously. But feelings and resentment just stays forever.
Aber deine kalten Füße bleiben auf deiner Seite.
God, the posters. Mats Nielsen, isn't it? Yeah. And that's how. Oh. Wow.
Du solltest nicht so lange im Regen stehen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he knows who he's looking at.
Danke, das passt schon.
Still, you know, shocked about all of it, but here we go. Look at the boy. Realize who it is. Come on. Come on, Ulrich. Come on. I think this is the best episode of Dark so far.
Mats ist auf den Glastisch im Wohnzimmer gekracht. Hat geblutet, wie in einem Horrorfilm. Aber am Ende war es nur ein kleiner Schnitt. Unten am Kinn.
Ja, aha.
In einer Sekunde Spinnefeind.
Oh,
Dann die
wow.
besten Freunde.
Like, yeah, I think so far this is my favorite episode of Dark. From a narrative point of view of like what this episode means for the future, because this is the episode again like where all of our characters are taking action, where all of them are starting to figure out the truths, secrets are revealed, and of course, more importantly, Jonas finally venturing into the cave and traveling back into the past. Ah. And it's only gonna get better from here, right? Like, we're still in season 1. Like that's like the most mind-blowing part of it, you know? Like this feels like end game stuff, but no, we're still in season 1. This is how the show starts. Alright, so it's actually been a couple of days since I've actually watched the episode. Just finished editing the reaction portion, so kind of giving me a bit of a refresher, right? I'm essentially rewatching the episode again while I was editing, kind of rewatching and remembering like some of my thoughts and how I feel about the episode. I haven't actually watched like the next episode, which is what I'm going to be doing after I record this. But yeah, overall, I still share the same sentiment that I had when I finished watching episode 6, and that is this is probably my favorite episode of Dark. It is just good. It's so good. It's incredible. It is essentially it is technically the not only the point of no return, but it is also the start of our main journey. I feel like the first 5 episodes, while yes, it is, you know, especially, you know, episode 1 being, you know, like the first episode where the story kicks in and all, I feel like the story hasn't truly started until now. Jonas going into the cave and venturing out and entering entering the past is basically the point of no return, right? Because this is the start of the loop once again, right? Where Jonas is gonna go back in time, and then he's gonna go back into the future, and then it loops again, right? But I will talk about like something about the loop, and that is it actually a loop, or will there be some differing timeline shenanigans, right, in the form of Noah and whatever he wants, right? We still have no idea about him, but overall, yeah, this episode has been just great. It is filled with emotion, especially towards the end, that just you can feel the weight of it. And speaking of, I guess I'm just gonna start the discussion with that, because I feel like that's gonna be like the, like my main talking point for now. Like the montage, the scene where we see all of our characters, essentially facing or dealing with their past, right? Regina, Ulrich, like Hannah, like everybody dealing with their past and dealing, with their losses, right? And you have this beautiful music kicking in, right? What's the name of the music again? I forgot. Soul Seppi by Enter One. Like, just brilliant song choice. Like, this is the first time that I'm hearing the song, but like, just how it manages to fit well with the scene, the direction, the cinematography, with all of the editing, just the mood that it sets. Like, just everything is good. Dark is good. Dark soundtrack is good. Everything is good. The show is good. The show is great. But yeah, that entire scene. I'm gonna drink some tea for a bit. It's early in the morning, but like that entire scene just sends goosebumps down my spine, and it's just so beautifully done. Like, I mean, you see my reaction itself. Like, I was just in complete silence at just how at awe I am, like how beautifully done it is. Like, you can feel the weight of everything. Like, and again, like these past few episodes of Dark, there's a lot of emotional weight to them. Previous episode, right? We, during the reveal of Mikhail's letter, right? Like that was sad, right? Especially when you realize that, when you realize that Mikhail has to die in order for all of the events of, the first 5 episodes of Dark to take place, in order to lead to this moment in episode 6 where Jonas finally gets into the cave, right? Like, Jonas would never have been in this situation if not for the fact that Mikhail died, and affects like everybody's mind, which will lead to Jonas going into the cave and yada yada yada. Like, we know this, right? Paradoxes. But this moment in episode 6, right? This moment where like you see this montage once again, right? Like of like all of these characters dealing with their past and everything. To me, especially this scene where Jonas finally gets out of the cave, especially this scene, this is the moment where I shed a tear, right? It's not that it's sad. No, it's just something magical about it. It's the, again, it's that, I guess that euphoric feeling that I had when 5 episodes of build-up has led to this moment, right? Because, like, it's not that this is the first time that we have seen a character that we know time travel to another timeline, right? We see Mikkel, right? But in that sense, that was a complete mystery, almost, an event that happened not of his will, right? He didn't ask for that, right? And this, and going back to like Mikkel is, in a sense, the figure that is lost in the darkness, right? Adventurers that are lost in the darkness, right? As the episode says, and Jonas is the light. He is the shining beacon, right? He is the potential savior of not just Mikkel, but everybody else, probably, right? Now, we know what happened to Mikkel at the end, but like, it's that hope of like, he is here searching for him, and he is here searching for answers. And he is just as lost as we are, the audience, right? Because we have no idea what is going on here, right? We still have no idea where, how this is happening, right? There's still a lot of mystery to it. We still don't know like how Jonas is gonna end up becoming, you know, the stranger that we know. And again, I'm gonna sound pretty dumb if the stranger isn't actually Jonas, but at this point, like it's pretty obvious, right? I'm gonna keep saying that. I'm gonna keep saying that because there's still that 1% in my mind where I'm kind of doubtful about it. Like, okay, I'm pretty sure Jonas is the stranger, but since the show hasn't fully answered that question, right? It hasn't been fully revealed officially, right? It's just, you know, in my head. There's still that kind of, you know, that last thing of like, what if it's not? But it totally is, right? But anyways, it's incredible. That entire scene was great. Jonas passing the threshold and entering into the past, which again, something that I did kind of, something that came into the thought of my mind when I was editing that reaction, it is that during that moment I asked, you know, or I mentioned during the reaction, right? Better not choose the wrong word. I'm sorry, better not choose the wrong side, right? And it led me to this thought of like, he was never going to choose the wrong one, because he's always going to choose the right one, because it's a paradox. Like, obviously he's going to go that route because like there's no way that he chooses the wrong path, because if he chose the wrong path, then the past change, and obviously you cannot change the past because again it is a paradox, right? The Ouroboros, the symbol of the cycle of life and death, and of course, you know, like infinity and all that stuff, right? But it's like it's a never-ending loop. So obviously he's gonna choose the right path, right? And also he did choose technically and literally the right path, right? But yeah, that was something that was on the back of my mind. But yeah, overall, just fantastic scene, fantastic choice of music, fantastic way of you know, swelling our emotions and everything. Like I was just like, oh, this is great, this is cinema, this is cinema right here, and we're only episode 6. What's gonna happen next? I am so excited. Because now I feel like we are finally venturing into, you know, the real dark, right? First 5 episodes, again, has been this incredibly long setup, and it's worth it. This is the payoff for that setup of Jonas venturing into the unknown, coming out into the past. Truths are revealed, right? As the first couple of episodes, we are dealing with lies and secrets, right? Now we're getting the truths. Now we're getting the reveals. Everything falls apart, but it is what it is, right? That is what you must face. You must face the truth. You must face the reality of the world, and seeing all of these characters dealing with those, right? And basically all of the mystery that we had in the previous 5 episodes, a lot of it has been answered, as in it is revealed, oh, that is this is that, but still answering one question will lead to 2 more questions, right? So yeah, I'm so giddy, and I'm so excited. Like my discussion, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this discussion. Like, this is just gonna be me praising the episode for minutes on end. Just wow, I'm impressed. I am very much impressed. Now, going back into the beginning of the episode, where poor Regina here being bullied by Ulrich and Katharina, and that ultimately led to trauma and ultimately led to a nightmare that we saw. Yeah, it's not really looking good for Ulrich and Katharina. And obviously, you know, like I said in the reaction, you know, people change, right? People may do some really horrible things in the past, but in the present, it goes to show that they are trying their best to be the better person that they that they weren't. Obviously, some things remain the same, Ulrich and Hannah, for example, but even then, it's clear that Hannah's own motivation, Hannah's own objective far eclipses, what Ulrich has in store. Like Hannah is just, she needs some help. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, just poison, as Ulrich mentions, right? Just poison. And I feel like we're going to be learning more about Hannah in the past. Because obviously every character in this show is flawed. Like, let's just make that perfectly clear. I don't think any character is good or bad. Some characters definitely being painted more bad than good. But that's just because we're only seeing it through, certain perspectives, right? We haven't been seeing it through other perspectives or their own perspectives, right? So I do want to see more, especially about like Hannah, for example, and her past and, how she's dealing with it, especially after the fact that she just, flat out lied to Egon, was it, right? About to the police about Ulrich and all. And because we are venturing into the past more now from Jonas's perspective, I do want to see that, right? I think that's like the fun part about Dark now, is because now with Jonas, a main character in the past, we're able to explore more about it and not through the lens of Mikkel alone. Because through the lens of Mikkel, while yes, he is a fish out of water, but he's a child, right? He's still a kid. There's not much that he can do for now until like maybe a couple of years later once he is older, when he can do more things. But right now, as a kid, he's kind of confined in a certain space, right? He can't really venture out as much as he wants. Like he is still very much dependent on a lot of people, a lot of things, like Ines, for example, like he still needs somebody to take care of him. Jonas, on the other hand, he, being more mature, right, still technically a kid, right, a teenager, but, mature enough to be on his own, right, and, this being like a great learning experience for him to, to grow up and find out who he is and learn about the past and the future, right, the perfect audience surrogate, right, for the past, right, to explore the past and to learn more about it, right, because he is going to be the one who is able to be asking questions, able to explore more, will be more daring, will be more courageous, right? So yeah, that is what I'm looking forward to. Did I mention this? I just realized something, but like the thought of Ulrich being Jonas's grandfather, right, technically speaking, right, because blood relations and all. So in the present, basically Jonas's grandfather is screwing with his mother, because both of them used to be lovers in or not lovers, but used to be friends in high school, and because Jonas's mom loves his granddad. that is something to wrap your head around, is it? Like once you dotted the connections, you start to realize that oh. So now I'm curious about like the other family members from, like the Tiedermans and the Dopplers and everybody else, like what's their connection from the past and the future, right? Because I feel like it's not just Jonas and Mikkel traveling back in time, and of course there's Noah as well, right? The outside force that we have no idea his goals are. But the reason why I'm saying that I don't think it's only just gonna be Jonas and Mikkel who traveled back in time and affected the future, and I feel like there's gonna be more characters doing so, is because of what I saw in Tronte's handbook. Now, this handbook though, you see the symbol, right? The triquetra, the symbol of the infinity knot. There is another book, right, that is very similar to this. I mentioned this during the reaction. That is Noah's book. Obviously, we don't see the symbol, but that's because he is hiding it, right? He is purposefully hiding it using his hands, right? The hands are covering it. We only see like the tip, but it is of the same color. So, question is this the same book? Are there multiple, like, is this like a specific book, like, you know, this is gonna be like the wildest connection that I'm gonna give, because it's like not even connection, but like example that I'm gonna give, because I'm currently thinking of a different you know, something to explain about this, but I can only think about one thing, and that is the books from Gravity Falls. I don't know if any of you guys have seen or watched this Disney Channel animated show called Gravity Falls. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. It's a pretty good show. But ultimately there's like 3 books, and they're all connected, and it's, you know, it has something to do with, like, you know, like the mystery and all. So I'm curious to know if there's like multiple books like this, right? I feel like there's gonna be like 3 or maybe 4 books that has like the same symbol, right? And they're all connected somehow, like they belong to, like, you know, like an author, right? Again, like I'm just kind of basing this off of Gravity Falls of all shows, but like, again, there's some similarities, maybe, I don't know, but I do wonder, like, again, connection to the same, or is there any connections at all? And the possibility of it actually being the same book because of time travel shenanigans. But the reason why I'm going through this is because the next frame, here we see Tronte pointing at 917, right? 917 is obviously, at this point, now we know, is the time where Jonas ventures into the cave, walks past the opening, the threshold, right, and then goes out into the past. There's 2 more lines underneath. 1724 and 1947. Right, these 2. And then there's nothing there. There's nothing, you know, after this. So, there's gonna be 2 more events after this. 2 more similar events. Now, the obvious conclusion that I can draw is that these next 2 events, because we don't know, like, the dates, right? We don't see any dates as far as I'm concerned. Oh wait, 8/11. This is 8 November, isn't it? Nine and 12. Okay. So if that's the case, then something else is gonna happen the next day, and then a couple of days after that. Because at first I was gonna say that, you know, 2 different time frames could symbolize or could refer to, you know, like season 2 and season 3 of Dark. You know, like 1724 may happen like next season, and then 1947 is gonna happen in the last season. But now that I'm looking at this one, the one on the far left, I'm kind of trying to find anything that I can think of, but I don't think there is. But like 8/11, 9/11, I think these are the dates, unless I'm misremembering the dates again. I'm pretty sure we are in November, right? But if these are the dates, then yeah, there's gonna be another event tomorrow, and then there's gonna be another event like in the next couple of days. So what are those? Who's gonna come in and who's gonna come out? Right? That's like the other question, right? Is this gonna be specifically for people coming in or people coming out? We don't know. But what we do know is that Tronte knows, and what we don't know is how does Tronte knows? How does Tronte knows? And what is this connection here? Why? What is Tronte and Peter doing? What do they know that we do not? I mean, at this point we know that Peter knows something, right? Like that's like obvious. We know Peter knows something. Now we also know that Tronte knows something. But what do what? I guess with the I guess with the fact that Tronte was trying to wash away the clothing with the red taint, which at this point we can kind of deduce that it's actually the red soil and not the blood or anything, right? Because again, evidence is pointing towards that Tronte has something to do with the disappearance of both Mads. Well, yeah, Mads and Mikkel, right? And knowing that this place is the place where the red soil originates means that these two know something that we do not. But what is it? We need to go back to the past. Jonas, figure this out. We need to know, because again, because Helge, right? Helge, Peter's dad, he was the one who gave Claudia, Regina's mother, the book, right? The book that the stranger had. So how does the stranger obtain the book unless it's a different copy of the book? I mean, like that's like obviously, right? Like there's multiple copies of a book, duh. But like, what if there's only one book, though? What if there's only one copy and that one copy is special? And if that is the same book, then how does Helge have it, and why does he have it, right? Oh my god, there's so many. Oh, this is why I love Dark. like the amount of little details that you can sprinkle throughout, and then once you learn a bit more about the story or about that specific object or that specific element, even the tiniest minute detail that you later obtain, you can immediately, okay, so we have this tiny little detail which kind of adds so many different new context to this other detail. Like I love that. I love that about Dark. One thing that I do want to commend Dark about its storytelling is that predicting Dark is hard, but if you can manage to find some of the little details that they sprinkle throughout, or at least you get a grasp on some of the hints that the shows are giving to you, then you can have a pretty solid idea of where it's going. Again, it may not entirely be correct, but it is leading you to the correct path, which also is kind of smart when you kind of tie this directly to the symbolism of Ariadne, Ariadne or Ariadne. I've never actually searched how to actually pronounce it after all of this time. I think it's actually Ariadne and not Ariadne, as I said, Ariadne. But tying back to like the Ariadne, and giving Theseus the line, the knot, also tying back to Jonas venturing into the cave, and then there's the red string telling him where to go, right? Kind of giving him the idea, the hint, right? Himself, the stranger, giving him the hint, right? Telling him where to go in the map and all. Like that is the sign of a good mystery, where the mystery isn't the mystery is hard to predict, but the story is giving the audience or the reader, or depending on the medium, but like telling us where to go, but not directly telling us the destination. It's just telling us the path that in which we need to follow, and then we need to follow that path, and then the destination is right there. And once we reach the destination, we should be, pleased, right? Because so far this has been pretty pleasing and satisfying. Because whenever I have a theory, sure, some of them kind of wrong, but when those theories are right, I am happy. Like, that is great. I love that feeling. And I want more. And I feel like at this point, because we're only like 6 episodes in, like I don't know how I'm gonna perform in like later seasons. I may probably fumble a lot. I'll probably not get as much of the hints as now, because it's, I don't know. I'm treating this as if it's like a video game where like the first 6 episodes is like the first 6 levels, and it's like, yeah, it's pretty easy. Like you can easily deduce that Mikkel is Mikhail, because it's just like the very similar names. Jonas being the stranger because, main character and all, and how much they're hinting at it. But now we're basically, introducing so many new mysteries and so many new details. It's like, okay, I don't know how much I can actually track all of them. But either way, it's still gonna be great. And that's like the best part, right? Even if you cannot predict things, when it happens, then you will be very much surprised, right? So it's a win-win situation. If I am able to predict something and then the prediction turns out to be true, then I will be satisfied, because the show managed to provide the audience as much detail that it can to lead the audience to a certain direction. And if I was unable to predict it, then I will be surprised. Like, oh my god, how can I not see this coming? But and it would still be a very genuinely, incredible feeling as well. So either way, it's a win-win. The show is genius. The reason why I'm saying this is because sometimes I watch a mystery show and it's like the show isn't really giving me any hints or any ideas at all. And when the mystery is revealed, it's like, really? Really? That's the mystery? That's the answers? Really? Like, sometimes it just came out of left field. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense at all. Sometimes plot twist happens because they just need a plot twist, and I'm kind of sick and tired of it. I'm like, that's not how you do mystery shows or mystery stories, for me at least. Like for me, a good mystery is when they're still able to sprinkle in like an idea so that the audience can still play along and not be left in the dark. No pun intended. But yeah, the show excels at that, and I'm excited to watch more, because if this is the level of quality and the level of writing that the story is able to produce in the first 6 episodes, then I cannot imagine how this is going to be in like season 2 or the final season, where everything is culminating, right? And we still don't know where this story is going, because if the story is a paradox, like an actual paradox, where the beginning is the end and the end is the beginning, then the show is going to end where it begins, right? So that kind of takes away the mystery element. Like, we know that Jonas is gonna appear in episode 2, and we know that Jonas is going to convince Jonas to go back in time so that he can grow up and convince Jonas again, so the cycle continues and all. So where's the twist, right? And here is where Noah comes in. And I talked a bit about Noah in the previous episode, but I still have have the same feelings that I had back then, and that is, I feel like Noah is here and he is trying to disrupt the cycle. He's trying to break the cycle because of how, like 33 years from then to now, and then it seems like Noah looks the same. He doesn't age a bit. Maybe is it a curse? Did he actually time traveled? We don't know for sure. But his presence here, right, as a potential villain, as a potential antagonist, and as antagonist goes, they are written and designed to stop the goal of the protagonist, right? They are written as the obstacle so that the protagonist could never reach their goals. And if the protagonist's goal is essentially going in circles and return back into the present, which is the future, because he is in the past, then clearly Noah's probably going to be here to disrupt the cycle and maybe change the future? Maybe playing as God? I don't know. But that is, like, at this point, the likeliest outcome, because it's probably, like, the most... How do I describe it? Like the most tropey thing that I can think of. Tropes are fine, by the way. Like a show can have, like some tropes here and there, because, sometimes it works. Sometimes, they're a trope for a reason. Sometimes archetypes, serve a purpose. But I don't know. This is dark. Maybe there's gonna be a twist. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. But if the cycle does break, then what does it mean? What does it mean? Like, oh! Now my head is actually scratching. This is like information that we as an audience still have no idea, because it's never been hinted at before. At least I don't think it is. It's gonna be one of those moments where, a couple of episodes into the future, and then I'm gonna look back into into these episodes, and I'm like, bro, they predicted this. They foreshadowed this since episode 1. Like, of course this is gonna happen. I am really excited when that day comes, when I finish reacting to Dark. Man, this discussion has been kind of maybe a bit all over the place, but it's very early in the morning for me, and I'm just using this as a means for me to just talk and discuss about Dark. It's not really much of a discussion, it's just me gushing about Dark for over half an hour right now. Now, I'll briefly mention about Regina and her health issues and whatnot. Obviously, she has cancer, right? Breast cancer. And yeah, I got nothing else to say. I just want to point out that yes, I do know that Regina has breast cancer. It does kind of ties back into what she was doing in a couple of episodes ago when she was touching her breast, because at that point I was like unsure what that scene is trying to to tell. Like, I don't know what is actually going on. I don't want to speculate a health issue or whatever. I was kind of leaning more towards the idea of her touching it, because she is, again, like, still a teenager, exploring her sexuality and all that stuff. Like my mind was over there. But now that we do know about her issue, her problem, it does become a lot more apparent now once we go back into that episode, a couple of, I think it was episode 3, I think, when we actually went back in time for the first time with Mikkel. So, and I also do love, Regina and Alexander. Speaking of Alexander, this is also something that I did notice when I was editing, right? Because his name, Alexander Tiedemann, Regina Tiedemann, Claudia Tiedemann, and of course this is also because I was looking at like the family tree and all, but he took his wife's name, right? Tiedemann, because he's not a Tiedemann. Claudia is a Tiedemann. Regina is a Tiedemann. Alexander? He's not a Tiedemann. So he's taking his wife's name, his wife's like last name. I mean, of course, usually it's the other way around. So that's kind of interesting for me. Like, as if the Tiedemann name is important for him. Like somehow it has higher status or something. Like, I don't know, but it does present an interesting idea, right? And I'm gonna be keeping that at the back of my mind for now, but it kind of adds more to the mystery of his character, because so far I feel like he was probably like the only character whose mystery is that there is none. As in, all of the other characters, we know there is like past connections and past relationships between one another, affairs and all that stuff, love, hatred, and all. But Alexander, like he was just there being massaged by Hannah. He was obviously the one who is overseeing the nuclear factory and denying Ulrich passage. But like, other than that, that's like pretty normal, business stuff. You know what I mean? Like he is probably like the most normal people doing the most normal thing out of everybody in this show so far. But now, because of his name, I'm like, okay, what's his real name? Why did he choose the Tiedemann name and not, why isn't it the other way around, right? Like, what's so important about it? So now there's that, again, that tiny bit of mystery towards him, right? So, and I like his character, by the way. Like I think he is, especially in this episode, it shows like how supportive he is, right, for Regina and her health issue and whatnot. Like he is there, always showing this like really strong posture appearance at first, but deep down it does feel and it definitely shows that he has an affection towards her, right, as a husband, and it does feel like he truly loves her, like unlike some other relationships of husband and wives in this show. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's husbands and wives in this show. No, like they're not good. Not good as in all of them are broken in a way, right? That the Dopplers, we know what Peter's doing. Hannah and Ulrich and Katharina. Oh. The Tiedemanns has been pretty chill so far. Like, the Tiedemanns has been kind of, they're like probably the most healthiest of the bunch. So yeah, props to them. Another thing that was pointed at in this episode is this necklace that Magnus found, right? This necklace of this bird. I actually have no idea whose necklace this is. It could be Franziska's, right? Considering Magnus is following the trail, finding, trying to find the money and all in the train tracks, because that's like Franziska's place. I don't know where this is. Probably her hideout. Maybe it's somebody else's. But all of the hints are leading towards Franziska's, right? But of course, there is this other connection that I can make, but at this point it's kind of still not sure about it, but the only other character that we can connect with birds is Charlotte, right? Because of the past, when she was, drawing the birds as they fell, and then of course right now in the present when the birds fell again, and she was the one who was, present to see all of that. Like, she's the only other character that is tied with, birds. So so yeah, it's definitely, an interest. And of course, I guess Charlotte and Francisca being, mother and daughter. So yeah. Actually, it would make sense. It would make complete sense now that this could actually be Francisca's because of the bird, because it connects with her mom. So yeah, probably Francisca's at this point. Now, jumping into the last thing that I think I'm gonna be talking about in this discussion is the doors. The doors with the triquetra, and of course, the lines Sic Mundus Creatus says, "Thus the world was created." At first, I thought the opening was a natural opening, as in like either an actual black hole within the cave, or there's like, a tear in time or whatever. But the fact that there are doors, and the fact that there are 3 of those doors carved as well, these are man-made. So it just adds more to the lore of this world. I am so invested. And I'm so interested in knowing, like, who made this? Who made this door? And how did they know that there is this, like, this center within our world, that if you cross it, you can go to like different timelines or different time, not timelines. Because once Jonas ventures into this place, right, as he opens the door, he sees 2 different pathways, right, including the one that if it included the one that he came from, then that's 3, right? I talked about like 3 pathways. It's right set in, right in the center, right? Past, present, and future. But I don't think it's just past, present, and future. I think it's a set timeline, as in one will go to 2019, one will go to the 60s. And I guess the other one will go to the future? I'm still thinking about this. It's either it is a set... Well, no, it wouldn't be a set timeline, because if it is a set timeline, then everybody would be coming in and out at the same time. So it's not a set timeline. But that's still, there's a lot of mysteries into this and how it works, and there's a lot of questions to be had. Like, okay, if people keep, if people are able to, venture into the caves and go in and out, however they can, then that doesn't explain the 33 time loop. Like, let's say 2 years from now, right? This show takes place in 2019, so like, let's say in 2021 or 2022, somebody goes into the cave, discovers this place, and then ventures into it. Like, that's not part of the 33 time frame, right? Because that's not what we establish. So what are the rules? And that's why I was saying, is this actually a fixed time frame where if you go through this place, you can only go back to this year? Maybe not the same time, maybe not the same day, but the same year. You know what I mean? Like, huh. So many mysteries. This is something that is puzzle. The three pathways to past, present, and potentially future is the one that is puzzling me the most right now, because I'm still unsure of how it works and what are the rules behind it. Like, what's the magic system, right? What are the fantasy rules about this supernatural element at play here, right? Curious, very curious. So we're gonna go. So we've been through the right. So I'm just waiting for the time where we actually go to the left. And I'm still unsure, right? I'm still unsure. When I say past, present, and potentially future, I am unsure if the present that we are in right now, 2019, is actually the future, and there is more of the past. You know what I mean? Like, are we gonna go 33 years into the future? So 24 in the 2040s, or are we gonna go back 33 more years in the past from the 60s? So technically 66 years from the present, and that'll take us back to like way in the past. Because if I remember correctly, right, the photo with Helge, right, at the start of episode 1, we obviously see his present self, his oldest appearance, and then we see his younger self, which is what we saw in episode 3 when we went back into the 60s. But then I think we saw another one, and that's when he was still a young boy. So that means that's like way back in the past. And because we know that Helge holds the book, and we don't know why he holds the book, why he has the book, what's his connection with the book and the scientist, that leads me to believe that there's probably going to be more about Helge, and that's going to be explored more about his past. So past, present, and future. The future is actually the present. The past is actually the present. And the past is the past. Am I making sense? So 2019, 1966, and then I guess 1933? No, wait, sorry. 86. I've been saying 60s. I meant 80s. I meant 80s. Math. So 2019, 86, and then 1953. It would be appropriate because that would be the time frame where Helge is still young, and that would be the time where we would be probably exploring him. So many details, so many mysteries, so many questions that I want answered, but right now I'm very much satisfied. Wow, what an episode. Hope you guys enjoyed my ramblings. At this point, it's not really much of a concise discussion. It's mostly just me rambling about a bunch of stuff, but hey, it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, have a nice day, peace.